Welcome back to another episode of All In with Nate. As we get ready to start this show, we will be previewing the game coming up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last week, the Atlanta Falcons took on the Philadelphia Eagles at home, and unfortunately, Jalen Hurts had a field day. He threw for over 250 yards and 3 touchdowns in a 32-9 win for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot regime got off to a rough start at an 0-1 record. Now we're ready to head to Tampa Bay to take on the defending Super Bowl champions in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who came off of a big close win against the Dallas Cowboys at the buzzer in their season opener. Now we will get ready to cover some upcoming matchups, score predictions, and just an outlook on this game and how the Falcons can possibly win in Tampa.
All right, as you saw the preview, we got the Buccaneers at 4-5 today. I'll be honest with you, before I even get into this, I don't have us winning this game. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way. It's going to be a long day. Let me check into this. BG from Twitch said, BG the GOAT tuning in. What's up, big bro? What's up, little bro? How you doing, man? As I get started into this, again, the Falcons got a tough task on their hand. They needed that win last week against the Eagles, and that was a horrible showing that he showed. And the Falcons are going into a tough atmosphere to deal with a team coming off a close win with the Cowboys. I'm not sure what we're going to see going into this football game, but I can go into this right here. I'm going to go ahead and cover the keys to beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number one, pressure Tom Brady. Tom Brady had a field day in Dallas against Dallas. The Falcons could not pressure Jalen Hurts last week. He had 260 plus yards passing and 3 touchdowns. That's not going to fly against Tom Brady. Although Tom Brady's not a mobile quarterback, Tom Brady can stand in that pocket and cook you if he wants to. Dean Pease is going to have to get after Tom Brady if they're going to have a shot to win this game at all. Because last week we got 1 sack. I think it was Tuati Mariner who got the sack last week, and it took us forever to even get that sack. That was like the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. But Jalen Hurts had a day against us. And Tom Brady, if he gets time, is going to have the same advantage. They cannot go into this football game and give Tom Brady time, or we're going to find ourselves losing this football game bad. And can't afford to go into, although we kind of staring at it, unfortunately. Number 2, get in the end zone. We had 2 drives where the Falcons got into the 10, walked away with nothing. Had 2 field goals. We didn't step into the red zone again the rest of the football game because the Eagles did everything to adjust to what we threw at them in that football game. Between not getting Kyle Pitts the ball, between not feeding Calvin Ridley. I don't know what we were calling the red zone. We got another person in there from Twitch. What's going on, Miss? She got the Eagles emojis. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. But good luck to your boys today. Y'all got the 49ers. I know it's going to be a good game with you guys. But as I was saying, the Falcons cannot go into that red zone and walk away with field goals against Tampa Bay. You cannot do that. You drafted Kyle Pitts, number 4 overall. Get him the ball in the end zone. We didn't even target him in the end zone last week. There were several times Hayden Hurst was on the field and not Kyle Pitts. Why are you going into the game and no Kyle Pitts is on the field? That's ridiculous. Why draft him if you're not going to feed him? That's ridiculous. Let's see. Bryce so far said, what's the target score this week? They got to score 20 at least. They have to score at least 20 if they're going to have a shot in this game at all. They cannot score under 20 points if they have any chance in Tampa Bay. Let's see. Miss checking in. She said, greetings, salutations, good people. And my hey, how you doing? She has a good stream that you guys can check out if you're on Twitch. She does a lot of cooking, and she also talks sports. So check her out when you get an opportunity to. But again, the Falcons have to get into the end zone. No ifs, ands, or buts about it if we're going to have any shot of winning this football game. But the biggest thing is this. It was an issue for the last couple years. We get in the red zone, and we just completely lose it. We go out there, we come out and We run when we should pass. We pass when we should run. It's embarrassing at times. So the Falcons cannot go into that red zone today. And today is going to be you might catch a couple of advantages in this football game because Murphy Bunn got hurt in the Dallas game. Tampa's secondary is not as experienced. So Calvin Ridley should be getting loose today. Pitt should be getting involved today, even though he's going to have Devin White matched up with him. But you got to take advantage of these veterans that's on that field in Tampa Bay. You got to. If you don't, you're not going to stand a chance in this football game. Biggest thing for the Falcons today. Number 3, protect Matt Ryan. Now, this has been up for discussion this whole week. This has been up for discussion this entire week. I know some fans blame Matt Ryan and some people blame the offensive line. It's a combination of both. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. It's a combination of both. But before I get into that, I'm going to pull from last week and show you guys the pressure that Philadelphia was throwing at the Falcons. I'm going to mute the audio for it because I kind of want to touch on it as this goes. Give me a second. All right, we're going to pull this up. Okay. So right here's the down 16 drive, 22-6. As you can see, Jalen Mayfield was absolutely destroyed by Hargrave on that play right there. He cannot struggle like that against Vita Vea or Fletcher Cox. Vita Vea or Dominic Sue, just like he did last week. This is the 4th down play where also Jalen Mayfield is sacked on. And this is Hargrave and Ridgeway that got loose in that football game at the end of the game. It was a complete disaster for the Falcons. That cannot happen this week if you're going to win at Tampa Bay. And Tampa is going to throw more of a solid defensive line than Philly did last week. You're going to be dealing with I'm coming back to myself. Excuse me. That's the stream. Hold on, guys. All right. Tampa's defensive line is better than Philadelphia. You're going to be dealing with Jason Pierre-Paul. You're going to be dealing with Shaquille Barrett. You're going to be dealing with Vita Vea and Dominic Sue. That cannot happen today. Or it's going to be a long day at the office for the Falcons. Completely long day at the office for the Falcons. If Jalen Mayfield can't get it done, get somebody else in there. Don't throw to me, this is kind of a bad ask for Jalen Mayfield and Matt Hennessy, who are both new guys starting on the offensive line. You dealt with last week Philadelphia. This week you got Tampa. And in 2 weeks from today, you got the Washington football team's defensive line. Although their defense haven't had the best start to the season, but you know what that defensive line can do. You definitely know what that defensive line can do. Let me go to the comments real quick. Mitch said they have used more quarterback sneaks and then running and throwing the red zone. That's true. They have to start throwing a couple of mixes at these opposing teams. We don't go into the red zone. We can move the ball within the 20 all game long. It matters when you get in the red zone. Also, I challenge Arthur Smith to call a couple of shorter routes. You cannot Matt Ryan is 36 years old. Matt isn't Matt from what he was 4 or 5 years ago. He can't hold that ball long if that offensive line can't hold up. It's on him to get rid of that football, and it's on the offense to be calling some short routes. Get the ball out. Run some screens. Do something to prevent that defensive line from having a field day. Or it's going to be a long day. I expect it to be a long day already. It's going to be a longer day. Moving along, number 4. Forced turnovers in short possessions. Dallas forced 2 turnovers in that game last week against Tampa. Also played a big factor in them staying in that football game for as long as they did. And also, Tampa was 5-11 on 3rd down, which is typically not a Tom Brady squad. They don't typically do stuff like that. But I say that to say this. The Falcons are going to have to get off that field quick. You're going to have to get pressure on Tom. You're going to have to make it hard for him. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, that group can't get going. Gronk can't get going. They had a field day last week. Again, Dallas forced turnovers and still gave up 31 points. Dallas forced a 5-11 on third down and still gave up 31 points. That cannot happen if the Falcons are going to have a shot to win in this football game. It's a tough ask, but of course, they got to get after Tom Brady and get them off the field. That's the only way they're going to win. Last week, Jalen Hurts, I won't say that we didn't throw pressure at all. We did throw a couple of blitz schemes at them. However, Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback. He can get out that pocket. He got that pocket, cooked us. Tom Brady, one of the most intelligent quarterbacks we've ever seen in this game. For many of you, is to go. He's one of the greatest guys I've seen play. Again, you cannot get into this game and get picked apart because the Falcons secondary isn't there. Your best player on your secondary is A.J. Terrell. Outside of A.J. Terrell, Fabian Moreau is not that good. You have rookies. Eric Harris is a veteran, not that good. Deron Harmon is not that good. Richie Grant needs more reps in the football game. However, he's also a rookie. You got a mix of young guys, veteran guys, and bad guys on one secondary. That cannot happen today. If you don't get pressure on them, they're going to have a long day. And Tom may go for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's just kind of game it could be today for us. So again, you got to force some turnovers in this football game and some short possessions. Make it hard for them. This game should be your measuring stick if you're the Atlanta Falcons. No, I don't expect them to be a playoff team. Definitely don't expect them to be nowhere near a contender. But you need to see where you are today against Tampa Bay. All right, number 5, sticking with the run. The Falcons ran for 100 yards last week. As crazy as it sounds, they ran for 100 yards last week. Mike Davis and Cordero Patterson got off to a great start. We didn't run the ball again after that. The Falcons gave up 22 yards of offense on the ground in the second half. They went completely away from the run. The pass was only 60 yards. You got to find a way to run that football in this game. You got to throw something. You got to throw something off in this game. You cannot go into this game and completely go away from the run. Tampa is the best run defense in the league. No doubt about it. Zeke Elliott had a horrible day week 1 for that reason alone. They were the number 1 rush defense in the league last season. So it's going to be difficult, but the Falcons have to find ways to get the game in their favor. Because if they don't, long day at office. Long day at office. Falcons have got to get going in some way. This is an NFC South game. You can't afford to go 0-2, although it's looking like you could potentially go 0-2 after today. But again, there are 5 key points right there that the Falcons must address in this game. But one of the biggest things for me, my personal prediction, I have Tampa winning 31-17. I think Atlanta will try. I think Atlanta will play better than they did last week. However, I don't have anything that is shown to me that'll say the Falcons can go ahead and pull an upset in Tampa Bay this weekend. I don't see it. If they do it, great. I just don't see it right now. The Falcons just got they had their hands full. This is an early matchup for them. Let's go to the comments. Mitch said they have to run. They have to start with short yards, switch up the throwing. Absolutely, they got to run the ball. They can, if just like last week against the Eagles, they came out running the ball. But however, the Falcons got to a point in that game where they said, okay, we're down by, we were only down 9 when we just started forcing the ball in the second half. It was absolutely embarrassing. Last week, the Falcons, that was probably one of Matt Ryan's worst passing games of his career, if I'm not mistaken. Because usually Matt's good at throwing for 200 to 300 yards. Last week, he threw for less than 200 yards. That was an embarrassing day at the office for the Falcons. Can't happen again this week if they plan on having any chance against Tom Brady, who, by the way, is undefeated all time against Atlanta. And that goes for back in New England. That goes for the game that we're not going to discuss ever again. And at Tampa Bay. They had their opportunities to beat them. They just haven't done it. Can they do it? We'll see. I don't see it, but we'll see. Also, as far as the Atlanta Falcons, they are 12.5-point underdogs in this game. Let's see. Mitch said they understand that they can do it, but Matt Ryan's going to have to be key in this football game if Atlanta's going to have any shot. And one of the biggest things is he's going to have to step up and make some plays in this game. We know we've had a bad offensive line for probably 4 years now. He's going to have to make some plays. Plain and simple. Dak Prescott played well last week and gave him a game. Matt Ryan's going to have to be somewhere close to it. And the biggest thing is, believe me, Tampa's going to pressure Matt Ryan today because they know they don't have Sean Murphy-Bunting in that secondary. They know if you give Matt time, he can cook. Even out of his prime, Matt can still move that ball if you give him the time. So they're going to put pressure on Matt Ryan in this game. Let's go to another comment from Twitch. C-Bay the Great says it's going to be a blowout today. Trust me, you do not see me disagree with anything in regards to this football game because I don't know what the Falcons are going to bring to the table. Don't know what they're going to bring to the table. It's an NFC South game. However, I don't know what we're going to bring out there today. But I will say this, the Falcons are going to have to get on that scoreboard, scoring touchdowns. They're going to have to take the momentum away at some point if they're going to have a shot in that football game. Because if they don't, Tampa could easily roll to 2-0. They could easily roll to 2-0, and it wouldn't be a mistake. I think the Falcons may have the second biggest line in this game, in this week. I think Houston has a little higher one against Cleveland. But again, Falcons got to figure out a way to win this football game. One of my key matchups is going to be today is going to be Kyle Pitts and that linebacker core for the Buccaneers. If they're going to feed Kyle Pitts, you got to be dealing with Devin White. You're going to be dealing with Levante David. Two of the solid linebackers in this league. That's going to be a very interesting matchup for this guy today. Whoever's going to be the number one, I'm not sure if it's going to be Dean for Tampa going against Calvin Ridley. That's going to be a big matchup in this football game. We'll be seeing, can Calvin Ridley get loose in this game? Calvin Ridley not have a good game last week. Darius Slade did a good job on him. That line got after Matt Ryan, so he was just ineffective. They're going to have to find a way to get Calvin Ridley going today. As far as on defense, of course, it's the Tampa receiving core against Atlanta secondary. Atlanta secondary is not that good. These guys could have a field day. So that means the defensive line has got to put some pressure. They got to. You got to find a way to get after the quarterback. And that linebacker core got to be better than they were last week. Deion Jones was horrible. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I think of everything that has not been discussed. Of course, Dante Fowler, at this point in his career, don't need to be on this team no more. He's not good. Deion Jones had a bad week last week. We got to see if he's going to step up to the plate this week. Alua Khan's going to have to step up. Michael Walker's going to have to step up. These guys are going to have to get some pressure. And the defensive line, somebody outside of Grady Jarrett got to figure out a way how to get at the quarterback. Got to. Because the only person that they have to be concerned about is Grady Jarrett. They're not concerned about Tyler Davidson or Jonathan Bullard. They don't play the rookies like that. So, again, got to get to the quarterback today. Got to. But like I said, I have the Falcons losing this game by about 10 to 14 points. I think they're going to stay in the game enough to not get blown out. But I don't see them winning this football game. I would love to come back on here at 7:30, 8 o'clock this evening and talk about how the Falcons found a way to win that football game. I would love to do that. And I'm going to be intrigued to see how that's going to play out today. But I'll be honest with you. Smart man in me, and this is for my fantasy football people, I've started every Tampa offensive player not named those running backs. I don't think they're going to run the ball well, but as far as AB, Godwin, and Evans, put them in your lineup. Because until I see different, these guys should have a field day. Tom should have a field day. Gronk should have a field day. That's just the God honest truth. We'll see what these guys can step up and do. However, as far as us, you can go ahead. You can why not? Give Ridley a shot. He should have a decent day. I think Ridley should be close to 100. He should. That secondary is depleted right now. He should. I didn't say he will. He should. Pitts, 50-50. Not really sure. Got to see a little more. Got to see Arthur Smith get him more involved in this game plan before I can say that Kyle Pitts is a start or is worthy of a start in fantasy football. So, again, let's see. Be right back. You have a clear view on the reality on how the Falcons win. Thank you for that. I just have to be honest about it. I'm being as honest as I can be with this team right now. The Falcons got to find a way to win this football game at this point. If they don't, it's going to be a long day. But again, I'm about to go ahead and wrap it up because I've pretty much covered everything I need to cover when it comes to these Falcons. But like I said, I'm going to go over my keys to victory one more time. They were to pressure Tom Brady, getting in the end zone, of course, protecting Matt Ryan, force turnovers and short possessions, and stick with the run game. So, them the keys right there to win this game. Can they do it? That's the real question. Do I see them doing it? I don't. Like I said, I'll be back on here this evening. And also, if you have not got a chance to tune in, I have started doing Madden simulation streams of the games before it even is played. So earlier, I did a stream. The Falcons actually lost the game in the stream, like by 6 points, if I'm not mistaken, in the stream. So each week, I'm going to do a stream where you'll see the game get played. You'll see what Madden is predicting for the weekly matchups. Because Madden does have the option where you can run the game. You can play it yourself. I don't never play the games. I let them games be played within itself based off the talent. So if you're ever up, I usually run them early in the morning. Make sure you tune in. But again, this is All In with Nate. Good luck to the Falcons. They play let me show you the time for anyone that's not familiar with what time they play. This is not a 1 o'clock game. This is a 4 o'clock game. The Falcons play at 4:05 on Fox. So, again, this is All In with Nate. Good luck to the Falcons today. Good luck to your teams today. I will be back on this evening to see what we did, talk about what we didn't do. Good luck, Atlanta. Until next time, I'll see y'all guys at 7:30 this afternoon. If you're going to tune back in and watch the stream, once again, it's All In with Nate. Go Falcons. I ain't going to say rise up. This logo's over. But go Falcons.